What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring all of you the weekly anime review of Gundam. Another wonderful episode that I was on the edge of my seat enjoying. I love the atmosphere. Oh my god, Gundam. It's getting so good. I've said this. I've said it, but the more I watch of this, the more I get entertained, or I'm like, oh my god, why have I not watched a Gundam? Like, why the fuck have I not watched a Gundam? This is so fun. Just so fun. Like, it's just, this is why I watch anime. Just because of how entertaining, how fun it is, and just how I can just sit down and enjoy myself. We have character development, a slow down episode that kind of slows the pacing to where we have character interactions and we get to see the characterization of the new characters that have been introduced. So this boss, the dude that our characters are going up against, he tells a little bit about himself, and he says that everybody on this ship is a part of his harem. For instance, everybody on his ship is a female. So every single individual worker on his ship is actually his wife. He has his own harem. I couldn't help but laugh my ass off when I found that out. I'm like, are you serious? This dude just accomplished a goal that not many harem main characters could ever hope to achieve. Like, this dude just accomplished something that is impossible for a harem romance series. I'm like, yo, this dude is just boss. Like, he has everybody. Like, he has all them just as his wife. He has a bunch of children and they're all following. I'm like, whoa. So, I mean, that was just what a way to start an episode of Gundam. Just with that alone, I'm like, wow, okay, so this episode is just gonna start us off with that. Just introducing a harem, he's got a bunch of kids, everybody on the ship, all the girls are his wife, and I'm like, man, okay, so I like how both sides were shown in this episode to, like, demonstrate family, because this dude that was introduced, since we found out, like, everybody on the ship is, you know, his wife, it's like a family. And we also see this exact same thing going on with, you know, Tekadon, with how everybody is like a family member. They work together, they don't want to leave each other, they'll die for each other, and that's kind of how that was demonstrated in this episode. Like, you know, towards the end with Orga, when he was talking to him, and he's like, oh, I acted like a child, and, you know, how he wouldn't leave, you know, anyone behind. I mean, overall, just the main theme of this episode was family. And this episode was kind of similar to the 2 episodes ago where we got to see that bromance between Mika and Orga when they were, you know, communicating and we found out more about the relationship. That's kind of how this episode was. It was like continuing from that of how they have this bond and they're willing to fight for what they believe but also die for each other because they are brothers and sisters. So it's a wonderful episode to just slow it down. And as I've said before, I respect series that can slow it down, keep it action-y, and also tell a good story at the exact same time. And that's what this series is doing. I mean, it's doing a good job with what it has. I mean, the way it slowly is fleshing out the world, along with, you know, the politics, to how certain things are going on with, you know, how the princess is, like, property. I mean, there's many questions I have right now, but this episode was a beautiful way to just kind of settle us into the next upcoming part of this series. So yeah, I mean, how do you all feel about getting to see Orga and his crew when they infiltrated and they managed to outsmart them and go into the command room to be able to infiltrate to where they can control it? How do you all feel about that? Do you feel like Orga and them are very intelligent? How do you feel about how they were able to do what they did? I mean, obviously, if anyone underestimates them because they're children, they're gonna probably get wrecked, and that's probably gonna be one thing that might be a reoccurring thing in the future for this series if anyone underestimates, you know, Tekadon, because they might say, like, oh, they're kids, we could probably get away, they don't know proper tactics, and we'll be able to kick their ass. If anyone thinks that, they're probably gonna get their ass kicked. So can't wait to see where that's gonna go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.